why is everyone going so far?
Dude, that so good.
I don't know.
Thanks for coming out tonight. You know,
I used to work at Boeing.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about Boeing is everybody who works there, they don't understand.
Dude, that's perfect. I love Adam.
Very rarely do I get I'm the impression person in this household, but
yeah.
Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire on the
Is he the kid? But he's older.
yeah.
I think he claims to be a fighter.
but he's neither the fighter or the kid of the relationship.
He was a fighter. Looking forward to when we can do this.
One day when the power doesn't go out.
Lines up, yeah.
All right, well.
So before we start, is there anything you want me to overdo or anything?
No, man, we're hanging out.
Okay.
So we're just talking. James, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.
Dude, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was fine, I guess. It was just my parents, and then I wasn't able to see my brother because he was coming late. So it was a very small Christmas compared, I have a very large family. So
What's you have a large family? You said?
Well, extended family.
Yeah, but
yeah.
immediately
I don't know if you can tell, but right over there you can see my family tree on the wall.
Ah,
Yeah, and I know all of them.
you do, huh?
Yeah, you could quiz me if you really wanted to. But I don't know if
we'll get to that.
They can't get the image as well.
So, is it Fitzmaurice? That's the name?
Yeah, Maurice, I think.
What kind of name is? I mean, not
No,
what kind of name, but I mean.
love that you're asking me this question. I actually had the intention of starting a podcast where then I would only ask the people about their names.
Interesting.
Because I think it's an interesting enough subject, and everybody has a different answer.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot about somebody with their names. So I love to answer that question. I don't have that interesting of an answer, to be honest.
All right.
I mean, to me, because I'm well familiar with it. But Fitz means son of. It's an Irish prefix. And then Maurice is French. So it was like the French Irish.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's because, we have there's a lot of Fitz in the comedy world, man.
That's true.
We have
Fitzgerald.
Quinn Fitzgerald.
People call me Fitzgerald very frequently, and that's actually why I started going by Fitz on stage, just straight Fitz instead of Fitz, because people just read the Fitz, not even bother reading the rest of the word. Guess Gerald.
Yeah.
As if it's the only Fitz name that exists, and but yeah. So I'm somewhat jealous of him actually being a Fitzgerald.
You work at the club, TCC.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in charge of the booking there, but they missed a golden opportunity to have Greg Fitzsimmons, Quinn Fitzgerald, James Fitz.
That's
the
actually
Fitz trifecta.
A great point.
And plus,
and I'm actually a big Greg Fitzsimmons fan.
Dude, I love him. He's one of the, I live up in Granite Falls, which is near Everett, so I don't come down as much as I want to. Making that change this year.
Yeah, resolutions. You already did it day one.
Absolutely, day one. But when I have come down, I've seen a few of the bigger name comedians. Greg Fitzsimmons is one of them, and I was disappointed.
I saw him in Portland.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt what you were about to say, but I saw him in Portland. Me and my brother sat pretty close to the front row. He did some crowd work, asked us what our name was, and then did like a little bit about the last name Fitz.
Nice.
And that was just for us. That was pretty funny.
Well, he's the man. I mean, I listen to his podcast, but when I saw him, Robert Cash Moore was those, and he was good.
Yeah,
It was the first show though. It was the first show, and maybe you can kind of give me some more insight on this because new comic, never been asked to host and stuff like that. Is the first show usually the hardest one to get going over the weekend? You know, if somebody's in town?
For me, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But that's just because I have a lot of anxieties.
Really?
Yeah. But I think that's pretty common for performers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the first one, you're like, oh, fine. Like, because in my mind, I'm always like thinking about what kind of audience the comic's going to bring. And usually, actually, I over imagine what, like, I'm like, oh, this comic's going to have this kind of audience. And most audiences are all pretty similar, actually.
Honestly, I've
like, unless you're like a very extreme person, like the club gets more people to come to the thing than the comic does closer. You know, it's about 50-50. Some people just want to see comedy. So if you get those people, then you'll have half the room.
Well, you know, I consider myself the comedy simp, and believe me, there's many people that come through town where I'm like, never heard of them. Sorry.
Well, then you're somebody who's very aware of comedy.
Yeah, I try to be at least.
So you just realize how many niches of society and how much space there is for so many different kinds of comedy. It's a nice thing, or it's comforting to me, I suppose.
Well, 2026, man. How many years has it been for you at this point?
I was born in 91.
No, on stage. On stage. How many years on stage? You know?
How many years on stage? Well, I've done a lot of stops and starts along the way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I actually started quite a while ago.
And before we get into that, I'll just tell you, the first time I ever heard of you, I like to do research.
Okay, sure.
Before I even did comedy, I checked out podcasts, saw you on Adam Tiller's podcast, a couple times.
The legend.
And then I listened to a bunch of the rough sets.
I used to do a very good Adam Tiller impression, but it's been a while since I've had done one.
Yeah, you guys did a great one of the rough sets episodes. You guys were doing it.
It's like, why is everyone going so far,
dude? So good.
I don't know.
Thanks for coming out tonight. I
used to work at Boeing.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about Boeing is everybody who works there, they don't understand.
Dude, that's perfect. I love Adam.
Very rarely do I get I'm the impression person in this household, but
yeah. Dude, that guy, I mean, he's basically the first comic that wasn't famous that I saw do comedy.
Oh, okay.
I went to my first open mic.
He definitely is not famous.
Yes.
That's true.
He's
One
trying.
way to classify Tiller.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's working on it.
But no, it was just great to see like somebody who's on their way up,
Yeah.
What about you? I mean, when you started, what was the thing? Because
what was the thing?
I mean,
I have an answer for that, but I don't know if I know what you mean.
What I mean is, we're gonna jump all over the place because I smoked a little.
I can ground us.
So Tony Cardoza said that. You're pretty much kind of like a laid back kind of guy. Almost
he said not that about me?
Wow, thanks,
like
Tony. On stage. Like
definitely.
He said blase fair, which I don't think that's I think it's laissez faire, not blase.
But he was putting his own Tony, his spin on it.
But he was giving the impression that like
invisible hand guiding you.
Yeah. He was giving the impression though that you were like not that you didn't care, but it wasn't like it was more natural to you.
I try very hard to appear that way.
So my question is like in the beginning, were you always like that or did it take time? Because we were talking earlier, like comics developing and stuff.
I definitely made it a focus and a priority, but I also actually do not care about what the audience thinks most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it for me to go back and listen to and then be like, I was funny.
Yeah.
Like I know what my taste is, and like it's a nice coincidence when the audience really likes it too. And I am genuinely surprised sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going up there with the intention of like,
I'm gonna kill. Yeah. I'm gonna just destroy the stage. I'm going up there with
like, I hope I can get away with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, were you always like that or did it change?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote some pretty absurd bits very early on.
And how old were you when you decided, all right, I'm going to do this first open mic?
It was about 7 years ago, I think.
7 years.
Yeah. So
you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
Experienced
mid-late 20s.
A little life,
I was in
stuff.
Bellingham.
Bellingham rules.
Yeah. Shout out Bellingham. And
Whatcom
Timmy
County.
Riney, ran the Green Frog, or ran Guffawingham out of the Green Frog. It was the only mic in town, I think.
I know that name. I've seen it on Instagram.
I think he started to bring it around back every once in a while. There's still some good comics up there.
I met a couple of them. I did a couple open mics up there, and
yeah,
if you named
some
some
shout outs, yeah. I mean, at the time, my favorite comics were Lee Cox, Ryan Cudahy, Charlie. Shoot, I can't remember. Matt.
It's been a while.
Christopherson, not Matt. Matt starts with a B, and then Clay Christopherson. It's been a long time since I've gone back up to Bellingham.
Yeah.
But they had a once a week mic,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a good mic. Like it would pack out, and so people would like really do well. Oh, there's this guy, Stephen Bird, I think, one-liner guy from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
He'd come down. Joel O'Connor. Anyway, but it was only once a week, and like I wouldn't always be able to make it and that kind of thing. So like for my first like year or so, that was all. It would just be like once a week I'd come down, try to come up with new material for it every time. And then I left to go to New Zealand. I asked Timmy if I could do. If he would have a headliner close the show, like a paid somebody do like 20 minutes at the end. I said, "Hey Timmy, keep the cameras rolling. I'm going to do an hour." I did an hour of material. It was all the material I had written that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
An hour. And how long were you doing comedy by then?
Without 1 year.
1 year, you already had an hour.
Well, because I tried to write a new,
I need to step it up,
a new set every week.
Yeah.
So none of it was refined at all.
It was just a rough ideas.
Yeah. But a lot of those bits are good if I do them now. Well, with the skill and ability that I have, I can go back and plunder those bits. But yeah, I have a recording of it that's very bad. But I remember being very anxious. I always wanted to do stand-up. So, but the first time I did it, it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I knew it coming up. I'm like, because I'd written for years, just like ideas and premises and stuff. And then I said, you know what? Because I could never commit. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up on this day. I said, on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I'm going to go up and I'm going to do all Martin Luther King Jr. jokes. So that week I wrote them. Still very, very good jokes. I do them every Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, man, I can't even think of one right now. So,
well, what I like to say is I think it's very funny that he had there's lots of things to be grateful for with Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Reverend. But the thing I'm most grateful for is that he had the foresight to be born on a Monday.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's on Monday.
Absolutely. Yeah.
His birthday. You celebrate his birthday on
I hate those holidays that float around all the time.
Yeah, well, and if it's a Saturday, you don't get the vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could have been a Malcolm X guy.
Yeah. I got a Monday through Friday job. It's
when you get that Monday off, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks to the king.
I mean, I get every other Friday off. Not to brag.
Dang, every other Friday off.
Yeah.
Nice. So what do you do?
It's aerospace. I'm working at
Boeing?
No, it's not Boeing. It's
not even Boeing related.
It is related. We do business with them.
I would imagine you live in Everett and you work in aerospace.
Yeah, it's aerospace and defense. So there's stuff that I don't want to talk about on the podcast, but I'm happy to share with you
because you work for Honeywell.
So basically, I'm licensed with the ATF to ship explosives.
Whoa. Okay.
So that I'm just basically a glorified shipping guy. But
I got an uncle like that.
Yeah.
Or in that world where you can't really talk about some certain things.
I mean, it's not even that.
And then they're like, wait, that company also makes fans.
Yeah, it's just kind of proprietary stuff, and then sometimes we'll get like government people that come in and do a tour, so everybody has to get
button up your shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's just a job. I mean, all my life I've been working blue collar jobs and used to fix garage doors and.
Oh yeah.
You
ever see someone get sliced in half by one of those big springs?
No,
I always heard that it could happen.
No, but there's some good
calls.
There's some good videos online of the commercial size. These ones here, like the one you have here in your garage, they usually break when the door is closed.
Okay.
And they are they're on a pole, they're on a tube, so when they break, they just stay up there. They don't fly off anywhere. Now, the problem is when people get hurt are the people that are trying to wind the springs and they don't know what they're doing because I mean, like for example, this is I mean, you might find this interesting.
Yeah, no,
but,
I love a spring.
my garage door, I have a house that was built in 2020 and it came with this really cheap proprietary kind of spring system where the spring is inside the tube. I know this is very interesting to people out there, but when that spring breaks, you can't really replace it. You kind of got to replace the whole system. And when I worked for the garage door company, that was like a $2,000 repair, you know, and I was like, I don't have that kind of money. So luckily
I got the knowledge.
I got the knowledge. So Amazon, they got all the brackets, the cables, that kind of stuff. And then I needed a long tube, and I couldn't find a company that would sell it to me because I wasn't a business.
Oh, yeah.
So I found a company in Everett called Metal Supermarkets, and they sell pretty much everything.
And they would buy it for you, kind of.
So they just were like, yeah, whatever you want, we'll give it to you. And I found it. Then I needed to get it from point A to point B. I don't have a truck.
Oh, yeah,
it's a 17-foot tube. Yeah. I don't want to strap it on top of my wife's, CRV because that thing bounces around.
17
it bends.
feet.
Yeah,
that's a long tube.
So I had a friend. He took it over there. I spent the afternoon getting it set up. I released the vice grips. Door shoots up like a rocket, like what that means is the springs are just way too strong. I did not.
You did the Tim Allen.
Too much power. Yeah. I didn't measure. I didn't weigh the door correctly, so I had to take everything down, box the springs back.
Just put some more weight on the door. Make a heavy door.
That is something that you can do, and that's. In the garage door world, I found out that it's just a lot of DIY stuff. A lot of just kind of
figuring it out just as you go. But I get you. Interesting.
But no, it's all day long. I just think about comedy and joking and
so. I know this is you're the interviewer, but I am curious who are your guys.
I always say Dave Attell, dude. I love Dave Attell. So did you get to work with him at all?
No, but
I know
you
met him, right?
Times.
Yeah. He's been through the club a bunch. But back before I thought about, I never wanted to do comedy until I was older. I was in music, playing in bands with my high school friends. But I remember the show Insomniac with Dave Attell. It was on Comedy Central, and the whole concept was he would do his set, and then afterwards he'd go run around and, these people that are up all night doing weird jobs. And I just kind of it was very similar to the lifestyle of a musician, so I kind of like that. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's in a new city all the time, new people, having fun. And then his jokes were just amazing.
Yeah, he's the best. And everyone bows down.
Yeah.
Anybody who... your favorite comic's favorite comic is Dave Attell for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's great.
When I had I wouldn't say my parents, but parents' friends and stuff like that, how they would sit around and listen to Steve Martin and Bill Cosby. Me and my brother would listen to Dave Attell, Skanks for the Memories, All
right. Well, if you were to ask me who my favorite comic is, it is Bill Cosby.
Really?
So, yeah. It's funny you mention him as that example.
No. We can discuss it because. But
I will never shy away from an opportunity to let people know that he is the greatest. Yeah. And I could argue anybody who disagrees with me, I'd love to have that discussion, but. Because I've loved Bill Cosby since before he became a controversial figure.
Yeah.
But now that he's a controversial figure, he's much more interesting to the general population. Well, I can actually have a conversation about Bill Cosby with people, whereas when I was younger, people wouldn't even care.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting just because of, how he really was trying to tell other comics what they should and shouldn't do. And, in the meantime, he's off being crazy Bill,
But also that advice that he's given, every agent gives that advice to all the comedians.
Yeah.
You know, like there were a couple comics who've come through the club. Actually, the Louis J. Gomez, for example, he said that his agent told him, it was a bit he was doing on stage, actually. His agent told him, he's like, hey, you know, I also represent Fluffy. You know, and Fluffy came through here and did the climate pledge. You know the difference between you and Fluffy? When Fluffy sells a ticket, he sells 8 tickets because the whole family's coming.
Yeah.
And when you sell a ticket, you sell 1 ticket because your fans are losers.
Yeah. Speaking of Lewis, I saw him with Zach Summerfield and Logan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a fun, that was a fun
lineup.
trio. That was one of the other ones that I went to. I went out of my way, you know, like.
Yeah, well, me and my friends really benefited from a funny situation in that regard. I don't know if you heard the backstory behind how that happened.
No,
but
I thought the club just thought I just thought the club liked you guys.
Well, what really happened was Lewis, Kurt, Jim.
Oh yes,
and
this I do know. I do know this.
Oh, and who's the other sketch?
Well, it was Jim Florentine, I think.
Jim Florentine.
Yeah.
So they all were supposed to do weekends at the Seattle club.
Yeah.
Something happened. They all got canceled, and then Tacoma Club was like, "We'll have them."
Yeah.
And because we all had like our ear to the fact that happened, we hit up the owner and we're like, "Yo, like we got to get these spots. We know they're open right now, and they need to book them kind of quicker or whatever." So like me and Logan and Willie and Zach and Steve all got like hosting stuff for all those guys when they came through. So like we really benefited more than anybody from that situation. And then it ended up all those shows were sick.
Who did you work with?
I worked with Florentine.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to that because, you know,
he's the burp master.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. This is a recommendation to all your listeners.
Jim Florentine.
Type in Jim Florentine burp. There's this video. It's got maybe 5,000 views of him going through a hotel lobby, burping just like as much as he can, and it's like a hotel lobby of like old ladies, and their reactions as he's burping they're so good that it's just like one of those things that like is almost like an old school comedic ability that like nobody really is. Like, who's the burp guy? Now, you know, you don't even want to be the burp guy, but some people do.
Yeah.
And Jim Florentine he told me the secret recipe. He said, you chug Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi and then chug water, and it'll make you burp like crazy.
Well, he's a man. I mean, I used to watch this. He was on a TV show called That Metal Show.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was,
for sure.
You know, every week they would have different musicians on. It was totally geared towards guys in their late 40s and 50s. But me, I mean, I'm like, you know, you like Black Sabbath. I love, you know, Ozzy and Metallica and all that. So I loved it. And, And so seeing that whole connection with the music and the comedy, it kind of planted a seed a little bit, you know. And I identify a lot with those guys. Jim Florentine or like Dean Delray is another guy who's the music and the comedy mixed together.
Florentine's an interesting. He told me a kind of a cool story. So him and Jim Norton were starting out in New York kind of at the same time, and their like big break was Andrew Dice Clay. Was coming through, and he saw that, or they saw that he was like in the audience when they were doing like a showcase or something like that, and I don't remember which one of them did it, but they just did his act from the day the laughter died and just did it for him. They're like, that's Dice. Let's do it. And so he had him like do it on stage for him again, and was like, these guys are the greatest. They think they think I'm a hero. I am Dice is the biggest ego of anybody. So somebody doing his material at him, there's no way
he would love
feed into that better. But it also like got him to tour with Dice. When Dice was Dice, you know?
That's awesome, man.
So I remember that and being like, man, maybe I should learn that set. And actually,
you should
2 weeks ago, Willie Dean did a great rendition of that set. And if anyone wants to see it, you can message me, but I don't think he'll put it out there.
Willie, dude, you got kind of this I don't know how to describe it. I call you guys the Tacoma Boys, and
Sure.
it's like I think it's part of it because of the Rough Sets podcast, but
We
it's
used to have the rough sets going.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to start getting more content out.
yeah.
But yeah.
But it's you, it's Willie, it's Logan, Mason Van Cleef. He's kind of part of it. I like to include Stephen Ryan,
Definitely.
Bob F.
Bob F. hangs around.
I don't know if I'm missing anybody. And then Zach,
Sure.
How did this, did this all start just because you worked at the club, or did you know any of these guys beforehand?
Well, really what happened was I was living here with my brother, and then my brother got a job opportunity to move to Bermuda.
Wow.
And I was like, I want to see if I can extend this to I want to live with the funniest people I can. Right? So at the time, I was like, oh, Willie and Logan are like the funniest guys at the club. And they both are in these crazy... Willie used to live in Tenino, which is like an hour away.
Yeah, I've seen it on a map.
Yeah, it's
I've
so
heard of
far
it,
away.
but
And Logan was in this relationship that was like he needed to get out of, and I was like, this could be like the perfect opportunity. You guys both move in, and we have like a comedy house.
yeah.
And so I did it like with intention, and I'd seen it done kind of before in Portland. There were a couple of like comedy houses, like the Alberta Street or whatever it was. There's many examples, but I just thought it would be the most fun way to live. And so, and then the fact that it worked out, that's just like as my brother was moving out, they both needed places to move into. And so that was like 3 years ago. So, but they actually right now they're moving out
as of today.
It's a new progression. And actually, I was talking to Star the other day, and she's like, "Oh, you're like the P Diddy."
Yeah.
Of like, well, because I don't know exactly who I'm having move in other than Mason, or like what we're gonna do with this space exactly. I think we might turn it into like we might just flip this garage and have it be like studio space.
Yeah.
But it's still like in the works. So. Anyway, I do love living with comics. It makes life like more fun when just the people you're around prioritize laughing over like making things serious.
Yeah.
So, and nobody better than Willie and Logan. So,
well, before living with these guys, did you ever live with a girl or anything like that, or what was you always been roommates?
I've had a lot of different living situations. I guess.
Do you prefer to be kind of alone, or are you looking for like
this
kind
was
of
like the coolest?
This was the best.
But
sometimes I can imagine wanting.
I've had some cool living situations before that are also like could rival it.
Yeah.
But they're also different.
Yeah.
Like living alone, it's hard to compete with living alone.
Yeah.
Like completely alone.
But it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you could also live in a place that's cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's all the things that you balance out in your life. But this was like one of the greatest phases of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the month highlight living situation in my life was during a month in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, just all you guys just here.
No, it was me and Lacey Day went to my parents' beach house on Anderson Island at the very beginning of the
nice.
when I thought like they were going to shut borders down, we didn't know what was happening at all. I ended my lease. I was like, I'm out of Portland. I'm not going to stick around as the city falls or whatever. And me and Lacey Day lived on my parents' beach house for like a month, and it was like. It was crazy because like the world was going crazy, but like it was my first like really living with another person who's a comic. Yeah. And I still say Lacey Day is like the funniest person I've ever met. And I'll still, I haven't talked with her in a long time, but
I've never heard of her. I got Instagram.
Anybody who knows.
Find some stuff.
But that was the greatest month of my life for sure. And very different, not a living situation I could ever recapture. But
well, anyway. It's new things are happening, man. How do you feel about things now? I know it's hard for me to say like don't take comedy seriously because that's not it. But like,
no, well, it is very important to me not to take it too seriously because it's the antithesis of comedy.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
And anytime you like, you're at a mic and everyone's talking about like the business side of comedy, it's like, can we just like talk about bits instead?
Yeah.
That is really how I feel a lot. But that being said, I did just get my hair cut from Bo Blast. Shout out Bo Blast,
Yeah.
Irvin's, right across from Lincoln High School. He hooks it up. This was my first time with him, and he gassed me up so much about my comedy. He was like, dude, you're like ready to hit a rocket ship, and like you got all the skills and all that. So shout out Bo. He gave me some inspiration to maybe hit the ground running or make comedy a little more of a priority this year.
There's a lot of great people, man. It's
Bo Blast is one of the best.
And for me, I think I'm kind of more partial to the Tacoma. Even though I do work sometimes in Seattle. I don't know how much time you spent up in Seattle, but it just it doesn't feel like, sometimes it doesn't feel like real comedy, I don't know. It's almost like it's an alt scene or something like that,
But that's what's great about scenes.
Yeah.
Is like I think it's cool that Austin is developing this like style of comedy that really almost shouldn't exist in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, if you want to focus on your we're going to get all these 1 minute shock value, like you walk out and you know who this person is type comics.
Yeah.
And all those people develop in that way, and then you go to fucking
New
LA
York,
and you're working out of the back of the Action Comics.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you have like a reference to, a pop culture thing to get the audience on your side, or like, but then you just build all those skills together and then, or which ones you want to. And I think that's cool. I'd rather have it be that way than like every club is the same.
Yeah.
But it does kind of suck when you're like, the scene that I'm in is different than the one that I probably would thrive in a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of driving. The cool thing about it, though, and I was going to talk about like what you were saying earlier is, those comics, they were canceled or whatever. That's a whole thing. I mean, like the crap that like Jess got online was like such bullshit. Like the way it went
Jess
down.
Anderson?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And that was just a big, I mean, to me, I'm like, as somebody who likes like Kurt Metzger, I'm like, leaking an email that should be private is kind of not the coolest move,
Well, there's a reason why bookers don't like people to know who the booker is.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Because it's, why is this person here?
Why they're always making all these mistakes. It's like, every person at all their jobs make mistakes. Like,
yeah.
It's like, whatever. It's a job.
What I was going to get to is like the new club in Seattle, Emerald City.
Yeah.
It's kind of more leaning towards like kind of the Bark.
Well, that's the thing
style.
Is that Adam bought in on it.
Yeah.
I think now he's I don't know what the partnership.
I mean, we don't know the
exactly.
owner. We're not going to say his name, but no, I actually don't know the owner.
Or
but
the Bark.
Yeah. The Bark
group.
Entertainment people.
Yeah.
But it's like.
No, but Adam is funny. Adam's a good guy.
Yeah. How you see like somebody like Luis J. Gomez 1 year not allowed to be in Capitol Hill. The next year you have Tyler Fisher, in Seattle. So I was like, this whole thing, it ultimately meant nothing.
Literally 2 years later, society is different.
Yeah. You're not kidding, right?
So like those kind of things matter too. And it's like the wave of the moment. But like, I don't know. I'm a fan of Bark, not only as an employee, but also I do think it is sick that like Adam is very funny. He's funny on stage. He's funny off stage. Like he does have to like put on his corporate stuff, whatever, but like there could be a lot worse types of situations. And he's really like by establishing all these comedy clubs in second tier markets or whatever, like he's putting comedy like in he's doing like
Skyline, Bricktown,
if you're measuring like laughter in the country, which is a weird way to do it, he's doing his part. So anyway, I give Adam a shout out.
Yeah, I don't know Adam, but you rule. Hopefully one day you'll see my stuff. I mean, I've gotten some pretty cool opportunities there, so it's tough though. It's like when I get the email for the Bringer show, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna I mean, I drive like an hour and a half to get here. Like, who I get to bring? I mean, I can get maybe one or two people, but 10 is quite a bit. How's your health doing, man? Because I know last year
I had a big health
last
scare.
year, I remember you talking about it a little bit, but like it was pretty serious, right?
Yeah, no, I had endocarditis on my heart. I had a blood thing, and then it got onto my heart, and it was casting off blood clots, and I very nearly died. It was like June or July this year.
Man.
But I got all the doctors caught it quick enough. The imaging was all on stuff. My friends and family made sure I went to the hospital when I probably was denying my symptoms longer than I should have. That's what girls are for.
Yeah. What was what was the sign? I mean, were you just feeling?
Well, so first there was a blood clot that went to my hip, so I couldn't walk.
Jeez.
And so we thought that we couldn't really figure it out. I went to like a chiropractor because it was like a hip thing.
Yeah,
right. So then for like a week,
out of alignment or something.
It was excruciating to walk. So we thought that I tweaked something or like a nerve had, and so we did some realignment. And then after a week of that, then all of a sudden I got a fever that was just crazy. And so what had happened was a blood clot had gone to my spleen, and now my spleen is half dead from that blood clot. But yeah, my body just all of a sudden I had a big fever, and my girlfriend Haley at the time was like, you gotta go to the emergency room right now. So I did, and then they found what was going on, and it was I was in the hospital for a good week as they're making sure that the medicine is effective, and you trying all the different ones, and
just getting infections,
making sure it didn't affect my liver and stuff like that. But now I'm all I had a PICC line in my arm that went to my heart and was blasting the stuff on it for a month.
Yeah.
But I think I'm all better. I mean, the last thing I'm actually doing tomorrow is they got the imaging of my heart after the fact, after the bacteria, or after the medicine was gone, to see if anything was growing back, and they took the image, and then tomorrow I meet with the doctor who goes over the image with me. But I looked at it and it looked like everything was fine based on the chart.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where I'm at with that.
Was that kind of the first kind of health thing you ever had? I mean, they have any idea what caused it?
They actually don't.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they say bacteria exists all around you all the time. And they say that it can, any small cut, or they say that this kind of bacteria sometimes is more frequent in the mouth. So I literally had a doctor say, if you floss too much or not enough, it can happen. So that's
sounds like you need a water.
It's not really that encouraging.
Yeah.
But it was all, it's the guy was sometimes one white blood cell looks this way and the other one looks that way, and it slips through.
Yeah.
So it's literally they couldn't, and it's also they can't really trace it back, so you can only rule out so much stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
dude. You're only in your 30s, but man, this is when shit starts to get scary.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my wife had a health scare a couple years ago. I was doing comedy for 2 months, and then she started to feel real sick, just like you were saying, and fever and all that, and took her to urgent care, and she had a little infection on her leg. Not sure what caused it. Ingrown hair or a bite from a spider, whatever. And they kind of, they drained it a little bit, gave her antibiotics, and she was still not getting better. And then in the middle of the night, she's like, I got to go to the ER. So I take her to the ER, and there it's all infected, underneath the muscle and all that. And it was septic. So just like you, she was in there for a week, and just, getting all that shit sucked out.
Yeah, and it drains you.
Yeah.
I was so weak after it because I'd lost so much weight.
Yeah.
I was so weak. It was crazy. I'd lost 30 pounds. I put that back on real quick.
But things are good now.
Yeah, things
That's
are better
good,
now.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't think I'm I'm not as strong as I was before, but I don't think I ever will be. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a goal of mine.
Did you want to get back to comedy right away, or?
Well, it's funny because like you have those scares and it makes you rethink life.
Yeah.
And I think there was in my mom's mind, she was like, oh, maybe he's gonna like take like get a serious.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like now it's time to put the whatever. But I didn't really have that. If anything, I was like, maybe I'll start telling stories more, But really, it's just kind of taken me a while to get back, like, energy-wise in a lot of ways where, like, even just my motivation or, like, my writing brain, because I always, like, just if my health is good and my mental state is good, I'll write 5 minutes every week. Just naturally, it'll happen and I'll just capture it and I'll be able to bring it to the stage. And there was a couple of months after the health stuff where just like I wasn't really writing anything.
Yeah.
Because I could just tell that like more stuff needed to get into a better shape than, was immediately off, than just pounds on a scale.
Yeah, man, I could tell you, I've been up and down with my creativity as well. It's, I think all comics, I mean, at least the good ones, probably have, issues with depression or anxiety or, lots of distractions to keep you from actually writing.
Sure.
But, yeah, man, it's,
No, I got plenty. But the thing is, I have so many notes of things that I never got to that even if I was dry for a year, I could still have new material whenever I wanted.
Well, for sure, I'm going to take a page out of your book and try and be more prolific.
Well, I remember hearing the thing about Louis. It's like, wow, he wrote and he writes a new hour every year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so he writes 1 minute every. You could write 1 minute every day for 2 months. And that's all you would need to do. Like 1 hour is so like when you break it down to like how much, but I mean, really what happens is you end up writing 5 hours and then only one of it is good enough to like be the hour. I think is really, I mean, when you're Louis, you have different strategies and stuff, but like, I've written several hours of material that are not worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, my stuff is just, I tend to write a lot of really short jokes, but whenever it goes to longer bits and stuff, I just lose focus or I lose interest or something like that.
Well, maybe that's good though.
Trying to get
it
there.
Keeps it short.
Kind of get there.
I think people should be shorter with their material usually.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely like the idea of cutting words. I've seen people that again are,
but then also talking slower.
Yeah.
Everyone should talk slower.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I should talk slower during this podcast, but
unless you're Emo Phillips.
Yes. Emo. Yeah. I saw him on, that. I was watching that show, the Pete Holmes show. He was on that show. Yeah. It was pretty good. It kind of gave you, have you seen it? The, Crashing?
Crashing. I thought you meant actually Pete Holmes had an interview show.
No.
I was like, damn, he had Emo Phillips on?
No, it's like a TV show.
Yeah. About stand. I never actually watched it, but I've heard good things.
So the second season is actually, there's a whole like storyline.
Artie is great on it.
What's that?
I heard Artie Lang.
Artie Lang is great on it. This is before his nose was messed up too.
Yeah, right before.
Friend of Jim Florentine as well.
Yes.
Artie Lang, he's mentioned in the book, but I kind of lost what I was saying there.
Crashing.
Emo Phillips was on that show. So Crashing, there's a whole storyline in the second season, I believe, and it's about this girl trying to get the perfect video. And she keeps going to these open mics, and one of the open mics, everybody is laughing.
It's very relatable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like there's one where the set was perfect, but he's laughing, and all you could hear on the video is his laugh versus everybody else's. So she gets mad at him. There's other like every time, she's just trying to get that perfect video, and I was like, this is so relatable for an open micer. But there was one where
kind of a funny story, somewhat related to that.
Yeah.
So, because I've messed up recording a set about as many ways as you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
But I used to record sets I had a weird specific goal in mind because I lived in Portland for a little while. And when I would do mics there, the mics I would do, 3 audience members wouldn't be out of the ordinary, 5, so like if you tell a joke that's good, you will get 1 laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
and so I recognized that, and I started collecting the laughs. So I was recording just audio at the time, but I would every joke I would be like, if I can get a joke where one person gives me a good one person laugh, then like I got that's my recording for the, then I can stamp it, that I did that joke correctly. And so I had a collection of like almost everybody in the scene at that time who would go to the mic, I'd be like, oh, that's Boatwright's laugh. He laughed at that one, and I got, a good rendition of a joke about a reindeer or whatever it was.
Oh, man.
And then I made a little album, but it sounds crazy because I just put the end of the joke, and that because it's really to highlight the laugh and all the individual laughs and how everyone laughs so differently. So I put like and that's why watermelons are pink, and then for it's like a 9-10 minute thing of just like little 5-second clips. I'll share it to the world.
Bob F has a great laugh.
Bob F has a strong laugh.
Yes,
it's genuine. It's strong.
Yes, he's one of the few that laughs at my jokes, actually. So.
Oh yeah, he likes your style.
Missing Bob, wherever you are out there.
Yeah, I think he's on a little hiatus.
He was like, I think he said he went to like a state park or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's always on an adventure. He gets around, that guy.
Interesting guy, though. And that's the cool thing about comedy is. Like me and you were similar age and stuff like that. So we could possibly cross paths, but like, you meet these people that are like 10 years.
Bob runs into people literally on the street because he walks around constantly.
Yeah. But it's cool to just meet like, these people that are like, oh, this person's in a wheelchair. This person's 80 years old. This person been divorced 3 times and has an alcohol problem.
Totally.
So, and that's what I love about it. And Bob is just one of those characters. I love him.
And you get to know people so quickly by going to like an open mic and seeing somebody perform for 5 minutes. You're like, okay, I actually know who that person is. Very much more easily than if you were to like do a speed dating or something like that.
Well, I hadn't seen you enough then, because I remember in the beginning I was like, I'm confused about this guy's comedy.
Oh yeah, I'll do something different.
I was like, what is this?
So...
Wheels on the Bus. I was like, it's funny, but I don't get it.
That's a very old joke.
Yeah, no, it was because I was watching your Bark, Make Me Famous video or something like that.
I'm not sure why I chose that joke for that recording, but. It wasn't. Maybe it was partially. It's like this is an old joke that like is very. It's the formula is all laid out as soon as I remember the joke. So if I'm ever in a situation where I'm like, what should I do next? Those kind of jokes will come to mind as like more of a safety blanket. Like, oh, here's the next 3 minutes. All I have to do is think of this train of thought. I don't have to remember any specific words to get this joke out. And it is a fun joke to tell, but it's not a fun joke to listen to more than once. Because you see it coming the whole way.
I think it was just, when I started doing comedy, it's just you just have such a narrow mind of what you think is funny and all that. And then even like now, like what I used to like when I started is not really what I watch now. I mean, like I'll still watch Kill Tony every once in a while, and I'll see like if somebody has a special that I used to watch, I'll check it out. But like I love the local people. I mean, Tacoma Boys, and I mean, like
give anyone a shout out.
Narin Van, hilarious guy. I just saw him. I love J Marks. J Marks. I've been living.
Marks, great.
The J Marks, the story since him and Adam. I mean, Adam Tiller,
and the
J
Marks is short for Markovich.
Yes, and it's not even his real name.
That's a reference to his joke.
Yeah, Quinn Fitzgerald. I love all those guys. And then as far as Seattle goes, like
wait, so do you go to Tony V's all the time? Is that like your main mic that you like?
I mean, that's where I used to go a lot. That's where I used to go a lot, but I think
I've been there a couple times.
I'm going to start going there pretty often.
But that's the one Quinn runs that mic, right?
Yeah. So I'm probably going to start going there every week just because it's an easy mic for me. It's the closest one to my house, and
it's a good mic.
Yeah, no, it's great. And they've been having good audiences there. the Nitro Circus guys showed up there. Apparently, yeah, they
That's funny.
One of their. I
They were
guess
at like the Everett Event Center. Or
that's
something
what I'm
like
guessing.
that,
Is they
doing
were
an
probably
event.
there on a Sunday for like an event, and then the next day, one of their guys wanted to try stand up, so they all showed up.
Oh,
and
hell yeah!
I was like, that's
fun.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, those guys have fun.
I love in Seattle though. I love like JoJo Blacko is always hilarious.
I count him as a Tacoma comedian, but
Tacoma, yeah, but yeah,
Just
down.
a
I mean,
little more
Tacoma is where it's at. I mean,
JoJo's really a Seattle comic.
Yeah,
At heart, I would say, even though really from Jacksonville, I do believe.
Mississippi, right? Mississippi, yeah. Greg Beatsler's great. Jackie.
Jackie Turgeson?
Can't say her last name.
Yeah.
But I saw her for the first time
She's
in
really
person.
good. That's a great
like
call.
a few weeks ago, and I was like, dude, this woman is hilarious. Like,
Yeah, she's got.
I like physical humor too, and she's like,
She's very confident in a lot of the absurd things she does.
Mm-hmm.
She likes doing the absurd stuff, or like really stretching a bit out and smiling the whole time.
I've seen her go like 10 minutes without even telling a joke, just just adjusting her pants. And,
Yeah. She kind of reminds me of James Hartenfeld, a Portland comedian. That's a compliment to both. That's a
Shout
compliment
out
to both of them.
to James.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier on my way here. I was like, there's not that many uncool guys named James.
Wow.
There's you
Okay.
and my dad. I was thinking of James McCann. He's a comedian that's
Donald
up
Forbes.
there. James Earl
James
Jones.
Acaster.
What's that?
James Acaster.
Acaster. I don't know him,
He's a
but
British stand-up, one of the best.
I mean, I can't think of other famous James right now, but
Well,
the only
I can name many. I used to have a long bit about it.
I could just say James Belushi, not a fan.
I say James Carey.
James Carey, yeah.
Yeah, I say James Gaffigan.
There you go. Yeah.
You
know. James
James
Comey.
Carr. James Carr, who
Yeah.
actually is another guy, but I mean Jimmy Carr.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. James. My last name. We were talking about that earlier. My last name is Gedney. My middle name is Michael James. My mom gave me two middle names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your middle name is Michael James.
Yeah, she gave most of her kids two middle names.
Interesting.
So, Does
it have a hyphen or is you have like four names?
It's just four names, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't like the last name Gedney because I've always had people.
Yeah, I couldn't even place the ethnicity of it.
It's British. It's like English, Welsh or something. Gedney, like it's Gedney. So I thought, stage names. Some comics have stage names. I was like, this is kind of it's still my real name. It flows pretty well. It's got cool initials. And so that's what I went with. Stephen Michael James. It seems to work, and all these three name jokes work. So
they're all names that people are familiar with, but not necessarily in that combination.
Yeah. So let me ask you, man. Do you have any advice for me? Because I know
advice for you.
I would say that
comedically or in life.
I would say a little bit of both. I would say that I know that comics. It's definitely looked down upon to kind of promote yourself a little bit. And I know I promote myself a lot.
I don't know if I'd say look down upon, but people feel self-conscious about doing it for themselves.
Yeah. So I know that I kind of do that a lot as far as my presence and all that. But
sure.
I mean, as far as like the comedy and like coming to the open mics, do you think I'm on the right path? Do you think that I can get where you're at? Or is there something I need to tweak?
Well, that's a good question.
Because I mean, like you, Steven, Logan, Willie, I mean, that's literally the goal is to like host for somebody. That's all I could ever ask for in the beginning. I mean, this whole like fame and selling out and selling tickets. All I want to do is just host for somebody
just
that
hang
I like.
out with the people you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I think you're doing very well, but I do have a good answer for you. Okay, and I have an answer for you both in stand-up and within this podcasting world.
Perfect.
Because I think you're doing a lot of things very well. And I think you have like the positive energy, connection, charisma that a lot of people that can be an obstacle for them, even if they are very funny. I do think, and this is advice I give everyone to stand up, not necessarily everyone, but like kind of in this age and time and stage of stand up, is that I heard Norm say this one time, and I can't find it, and it really frustrates me. But he said that dialogue is one of the most difficult forms of writing. Like if you're an English major, a master of rhetoric, and all of the different forms of rhetoric, there's debate, and there's Professor
Prose,
prose, exactly. Yeah. Dialogue is one of the most difficult.
Yeah.
But we all in ourselves have the ability to perform dialogue without thought. As I'm talking to you, I'm not thinking about the words I'm saying at all. It's just very natural to me.
Some people can't. Though.
And I have, and we all have our voice that we've been speaking with in every conversation for our whole lives.
Yeah.
But then when we go down to write the material, then it's like we have to start again a little bit. Like you're putting a conscious effort on top of something that you're unconsciously doing perfectly.
Yeah.
Right? And so what Norm said to do was when you write stand-up, don't write the dialogue. Because what happens is when you write dialogue, you read the dialogue when you perform it. And it becomes more obvious if you track people's eyes and they look up in a certain way and they're trying to remember. But they don't do that when you just speak. And if you can write without dialogue, it's very difficult to write punchlines, though, is the hard part. Because you still have to have that, like, crux of, like, getting the words right at the end. And I think what I've found is when people get to that next level is when they have 3 notes on a piece of paper and they're going up there and they trust their own dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've seen from you, you're not like a guy who's like, I wrote a bit and I'm reading the bit. But I think you're close to getting to that next level of, and that's where the comfort is. And that's also where I think as a performer, you'll have more fun too.
I appreciate that. I really did make a conscious effort, I think like 6 months ago, to not take my notes on stage. And then when I write stuff down, I just write like a word rather than a sentence. But I still get pretty detailed. I mean, even with tonight, I wrote down a bunch of stuff because
it's not a bad exercise, but as you do it more, you'll realize you have to do it less.
Yeah.
And if you can, the more you can accelerate that, I think that's a really valuable skill. Now, within podcasting, I think you're very good at this, like the fact that you connected with me, you came out, I think this conversation we have is very good and fun.
I'm so glad that we're finally doing this. So.
You're making the connection with me, and like now I feel like we're closer from it. And to me, if I was you and making a podcast, who even cares if anyone sees it beyond that? Like, you're having good conversations with people in the community that you want to grow and build around, right?
That's kind of the excuse, It's kind of weird to be a 40-year-old man and tell my wife, "Hey, I want to go hang out with this guy to get to know this guy."
Yeah.
But when you have a podcast, you're allowed. It's kind of like, all right, that's cool. But I really do I like people, especially people that like kind of are doing stuff. And I mean, I seen you had your own podcast, and you're out there you're just doing stuff, man. You're doing stuff, and it's not the standard typical. I think even my stuff is a little bit more kind of typical, and like, you guys kind of touch on like kind of controversial stuff a little bit, and it's fun, and you do it in a way to where it's not offending anybody,
Fun is the priority, for sure.
Yeah, and that's, it's the thing is this, as this next year goes on, that's really what I want to do, is just have fun and not really take it seriously.
That's perfect. Okay. Yeah. So that being said, I think you could easily take this podcast to the next level with just a little bit of formatting.
Yeah.
Because you're a good conversationalist. You have the kind of the topics that you want to go to.
Yeah.
If you had it just a little bit more structured, then I think you could edit it for clips a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if it was like, okay, I know that I'm going to talk about whatever your background is in comedy.
Yeah.
If you knew that you had like, okay, every time I'm going to talk about, if you had like a segment title and a little jingle or something that, and then every time you're like, okay, now I don't even have to think about what clip I'm going to make. I'm going to make the clip. That's the segment, because we always started on the segment thing. You don't even have to have the jingle at the moment. You can do it in post. But I think having more of those like chapter headings within the podcast make it a little more digestible, because then people are like, oh, they're in the section where they talk about who their favorite comic is.
Well, hey, I mean, the TARP Report, I listen to that podcast, and I always just skip to the end where they just talk about the local stuff, you know?
Exactly, but then people are still listening, but then they can listen in the section and format they want, and then also those things can become the clips.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's my... I think that what I've seen, that takes things that are like this loose conversation to just like, it's still the same conversation. You still kind of get to the same points, but having just a little bit more structure, I think it just pays off in digestibility.
Yeah, nice. Well, I mean, I think that, yeah, man, as time goes on, I'm just I'll take that advice and just keep pushing it along. You know, it's you know, like this last year was tough, man. It's pretty rough. I mean, he had the health scare.
Sure.
We've all had a lot of BS, you know, the world, but I'm really hopeful for things that are coming, and I'm excited for.
So are you doing this 51st jokes thing tonight?
Yeah.
So do you have your joke figured out?
I mean, it's as far as I knew, is this 90 seconds. So I have a bunch of one-liners, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you want to hear one?
Well, I was just kind of curious because they did it last year, but I wasn't there for it, and I'd kind of heard different things about just like, it's a lot of people going in and out, and you know how many people are really writing their first joke that year. It seemed like a lot of people actually kind of took the exercise to heart.
But there were a lot of people that were doing old jokes as well.
This is
everyone
will know, so you got to do something new.
They say a lot of guys with 3 names end up being serial killers, but I don't think that's true. Some of us only go after one guy. Hey, you like it? Nice,
okay,
nice.
I like that one. And I can see you performing it better without reading it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's also a joke you just wrote too. So
these are mostly new.
Some of us only kill one people.
I got a water pick for Christmas.
You could even, for the punchline on that, you could say, that's not true. Some of us only kill one person. You know, do like a stupid act out.
Well, and I'm not going to do this tonight, but I kept thinking about this finger gun thing and how you're not allowed to do this in elementary schools anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And I
saw
like,
John Morant put it away.
It's like, you're not allowed to be a 90s cool guy, you know?
Yeah. What, you know?
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I better wrap this up so I can go not make Allison mad at me. She's already.
Is she the one hosting it?
She is hosting. Yeah, we love Allison fine. I mean, much love to her, but yeah, basically
she produces things.
She wanted me to be on this
aspect of her.
I asked her to be on this show. She messaged me, and I said, "Yeah, I'd love to be on this show." And then the next morning, I realized. That's the same night I'm going to see Big J in Tacoma because he was supposed to be here in August and he rescheduled. Mm-hmm. So I messaged her and she's like, "Are you kidding me? I already made the flyers." And I was like, it's not even been 12 hours since I told you I was going to do this show.
The flyers.
But she said I was easily replaceable.
Yeah, can't be undone.
So she should be water under the bridge.
Well, good.
But yeah, I'll be seeing Big J.
You'll show her with your new minute.
You work at the downtown or?
I work at 6th.
6th, yeah, so won't see you next week. But either way, man, I'll be hitting the mics. And thanks again for inviting me to
So when does this come out?
Your castle.
What's the production schedule?
I'll probably put it out next Friday.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, a week from tomorrow.
That's pretty good.
If it was yesterday, I'd probably put it out this Friday. But I find that, like, Fridays seem to work better for views.
Okay.
You know, the Skankfest one that we did, this is my highest rated one, and my friend Rob went down to Skankfest and talked about seeing Jason Ellis's dick and
all
that good stuff, you know.
That's what you do down there.
But yeah, man, I look forward to doing more stuff in the future, and
Yeah,
we'll hang
for sure.
out, maybe do some shows, and
Yeah, and maybe I'll be making my way up to Seattle a little bit more too,
Yeah.
and we'll meet in the middle.
or Everett.
Yeah, I'll go all the way up to Tony V's or something.
Cool.
Quinn will have me headline a mic or something.
And yeah, he's not really a promotional guy, so if you want to follow him, I'll put all the stuff on the screen.
Yeah. James Fitz Comedy on Instagram. I think it might be
Any
similar for
any shows
TikTok.
coming up? Any big shows we should advertise?
Nope.
No shows.
I had a couple this month, more than I usually do, but
Yeah.
nothing in the media horizon.
You'll see him
Maybe
at
I'll start producing or something.
Comics Under the Influence or the Dope Show, or opening or hosting for some,
getting a guest spot maybe.
maybe a Jamie Kennedy or so.
Yeah, I would kind of say
Yeah.
guest spot on a Jamie Kennedy. That'd be funny.
Cool. All right. Well,
maybe.
thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. That's
Yeah.
it.
Hell yeah.
Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire.